Hello everybody, this is my first video, so it's probably going to be awful, but I hope I can share some value with you and that this isn't just some garbage agency entrepreneur nonsense, because this is my business, these are real results that I got, and I'm just going to show you exactly how I did them without taking out too much information. So, essentially this video is going to be about an email sequence that I wrote up. Cold email, instantly AI, if you're familiar with that, that got an interested reply from a C-suite executive at a $25 billion market cap publicly traded company. So essentially, it's sort of like a guide on how to write a good email that can actually get a reply from a big shot. In this case, it was the chief accounting officer, also senior vice president. That's who we target in our offer in our business, either the CFO or the CAO, those type of positions. But this would also work for any other offer. You just have to change the wording. So here's the screenshot. He's telling his assistant to find a time to connect for what Anna has to say. Anna is one of our employees. So anyway, so that's a screenshot proving that I'm not talking shit. All right, so this was the first email that we sent. So you'll notice these emails are really short. In fact, honestly, this email is longer than I usually like to go. I use something called word counter to make sure that these are actually really short emails. So here, look at this. Here's one that I just had loaded in here. This is another really good email, by the way. No upfront fees. Anyway, ignore that. This 69 words, this one 57 words. Under 60 words is usually a rule that I go for. It's very flexible. Sometimes what you're explaining is very complicated, and you need more time, need more words like this. But honestly, the skill of cold email is, well, it's very easy to explain a complicated thing and write an essay about it, but no one reads an essay. So the real skill is making something very complicated short into something that people will actually read, especially from an email from someone you don't even know. Would you read something that's like 2 paragraphs? Be honest. You would skim the front, maybe you would keep reading. Probably not, right? So if you're sending thousands of emails, you want to maximize the chance that the most amount of people read the whole thing. Anyway, so first thing I did here, some people say they want to put personalization. If you're sending out mass email, it's very hard to personalize it. If you're sending out to 500 people, then go ahead, write a personalized line for each person, make it a variable in the email script, and then put, you know, this right there and do that. But I don't do that personally, at least not in this campaign. So first thing was a question to sort of gauge their interest, right? How do you avoid overpaying on software services and telecom? Now, this could be any pain point that you can do in your offer. So in our case, we're saving companies money. In your case, it might be, I don't know, how do you avoid overpaying for staffing services? Or how do you avoid whatever pain point it is? It doesn't have to be overpaying for something, whatever your offer is. Then instantly we give them a case study. In this case, the case study was a company that was they might have heard about in their sector. That works very, very well. It can also work if you just name any company and you have a really good really good result. So in this case, it was another publicly traded big company in the same sector, and we said, you know, they unlocked $100 million in enterprise value, cutting costs with reverse auctions. And then sort of get to the offer part of this. This isn't typically how I would do this, but this worked, so I'm just going to share it with you. We can show you how for free, no strings attached. Two things about this. This isn't necessarily the best way of phrasing it, because one thing I would prioritize is getting straight to the point and trying to talk like a human. Now, would a person typing this put no strings attached with the dash dash? Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't. Maybe I've just looked at so much email copy that I feel like they wouldn't, or maybe it makes it look more human. The goal of your email should be to look like a person wrote it, and I'll show you some more tips and tricks I use for that. Anyway, the main piece of this is we'll show you how for free, no strings attached. So it's like the Alex Hormozy type of no-brainer offer. Like, we'll do it for free, no upfront cost. We'll show you how you can do it. And then when I wrote this next line, I was thinking, okay, you have to think about it from their perspective. Well, you're going to show me how for free. Obviously, they're going to try and sell me something if they're giving me something for free. So I said, you want to be honest with the person you're talking to, because especially someone as smart as an executive is going to see through that shit immediately if you're trying to be dishonest. So I said the catch is you'll probably want us and our partners to do it for you by the time we're done, but it's entirely up to you. So you're still giving them the power, but it makes it honest, as in, yes, I am trying to get you to be a customer for my business. That is why I have emailed you. But it's still up to you. This ball is still in your court. And the worst case scenario here is we show you, and I might have even been better if I explained this. Of course, that would be hard to keep it short. But the worst case scenario for this person reading this email is I get shown a process of how another company cut their costs and increase their value by $100 million by cutting those costs. And I have no obligation to work with the company. They're not going to bother me, et cetera, if I don't work with them. Would you like to see how it was done? And then you want to have a professional signature here. And honestly, I would also put company address. I took it out of this because you're legally required to do that, so do that. Yeah. Anyway, would you like to see how it's done? So I'm spending a lot of time on this first email. It's the most important email. Would you like to see how it's done? There's your call to action. You can make that anything. But this just offers value. Would you like to see how it was done? I'm not even trying to get on a demo call with me and this and that. This is the result that someone else in your same position got. That is a really good result. I'll show you how it was done. That's it. It's like a lead magnet. Now, this wasn't actually a lead magnet. We were going to send them a PDF explaining how it was done, but funnily enough, the person who replied wanted to go straight to a meeting, and that'll happen sometimes. But essentially, psychology this. I promise I'll go on to the next email in a second. Pain point. Right? Pain. Good. Even in high-level sales, it's all the simple stuff. Pain, case study, de-risking them. It's no risk if you try and talk to us. It's entirely up to you. No strings attached. De-risking them. And then call to action. But the call to action is what I would call a soft call to action. It's not asking, let's get on a meeting. It's not asking that kind of stuff. Now, this one could be taken that way, so maybe I should alter it. But it's more soft. It's another call to action for this would be, could I show you a PDF that explains how it was done? Or could I show you a quick video that explains how it was done? Something like that, where it's a little bit less commitment from them. That will work even better than this, because it might be implying a meeting. So that's more of a hard call to action. Now, that's a soft versus a hard call to action. Anyway, I'm explaining a lot of complicated nonsense, but hopefully you're understanding some of it. Okay, email number 2. Like I said, this is my first time doing this. Hi again, first name. I don't know if I have to explain this, but using their first name converts way higher than saying hey there, to say that. But here's a little trick. Put re in the subject line so that it looks like it was sort of regarding some other email they were already on. Works a little bit better than without re. I've tested it. Then, this is going to piss so many people off. Question. I honestly don't do quick question anymore, but question, first name. Still works. Still works. This is the most used thing ever. I put in the re thing here. Switches it up a little bit. this works like a charm still. So switch it up. You can do, I mean, I've done like this. Something related to what you're doing, or if you're giving them something for free. Just don't make it sound scammy. Make it sound somewhat intriguing. When you use their name and question, that always gets people. I mean, always. Okay, email number 2. Hi again. Just popping in to see if you saw my last message, and then call to action. This honestly isn't even the best. This is really basic. But usually, pretty much everyone who does email, their second email is just a bump. Like, did you see the last one? And there might be a 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 day gap in between this first one and this one. Next one, oh, actually, let me not move on. First, reference again your case study and your, like, the crux of your message, call to action, because they're not going to, most people, they might not go back and read the full thing, your first email. Like, that's a lot of work. Make it as seamless as possible. Again, you can do this. Then this is a sort of maybe a unethical thing to do, but it works. P.S. I write these myself. This isn't an automated sequence, but if you'd like me to stop emailing you, just let me know. And then this is a little genius thing as well. Funnily enough, iPhone doesn't actually do this anymore, but people would still assume that it is real because not that many people do it. So here's a really valuable little thing that will increase your follow-up percentage reply. When people see, okay, it was sent from my iPhone, then it really doesn't look like it was automated. It really looks like you wrote it out. And that makes them way more likely to reply. Even if it's going to be a negative reply, they just sort of feel bad. You know, this person's actually writing it out. But that might also make them feel more intrigued. It might make it look like it's more personalized. Yeah, really only marketer people are going to know that this is fake. So, yeah. You can do that if you like. I think sent from my iPhone is genius. Anyway, next thing. This is some Spintax. If you're a cold email guy, you already know this. It should have already been in all these other ones, but I just took it out to make it easier, but I included in this last piece. It will help your deliverability. Well, it's supposed to help your deliverability because it makes one email have several variations. So in one version, it'll say hi. In one version, it'll say hey. It won't say both. It'll say, hi first name, and then another email to a different person will say hey first name. Supposed to make you less likely to end up in the spam box. All right. I realize it might not be the right time. And then this is sort of a breakup email, we call it. Alex Berman, I think his name is, talks about this in his book. Where, and it still works, your last email is sort of like personal. It's heartfelt. It's like, I realize it's not the right time. If you need anything, just contact me. We'll set up a quick chat. Then here's a really important piece. If someone else at the company would be better suited to talk about bringing expenses down, let me know and I'll contact them. You have no idea how much this little stupid line, putting this in the email, has gotten me forwarded to the right person in the company who then moves forward, books a meeting, etc. That is perfect. Because here's what happens with this. Let's say Laura is the CEO. Laura's been getting my email. She's sort of intrigued, but she doesn't have time for that shit. She's the CEO. So Laura sees this line in the email, and she's like, okay, maybe I'll forward this to John, who's the CFO or the CAO or the right person in the company for whatever offer it is that you're selling. John is going to get forwarded this email from Laura. It's not going to go to spam. It's from his CEO. So it's like from a trusted source. Then John is actually going to consider this. And sometimes, if you're lucky, John will even think it's his obligation to look into this because the CEO, the big shot, the leader of the company, has told them to. They might even, and sometimes it'll be the CEO reply, John, look into this. And then John has to. So That is actually really, really important line to include. And then, final thing, my inbox is always available for when you're less busy. Some of these people are very busy. I've had it where this email gets sent, and 3 weeks later I get a reply. Hey, I was interested, but we had a lot of stuff going on. Da 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 da. Now, I wouldn't count on that, but it doesn't hurt to put this in the email. Again, good, professional, vice president of business development. When you're doing these emails, always give yourself like a somewhat important tag. Now, don't give yourself the CEO tag. Well, it depends how you're trying to appear. If you're a little agency, maybe you can do that. And they'll be happy to talk with the CEO, right? But if you're trying to come off as more professional, I would recommend putting it at a senior position, but not like a executive position, because the executive at a big company probably wouldn't be sending out business development related inquiries. That would be someone else's job, like the vice president of business development. So that's my recommendation. Not that big of a deal. And again, sent from my iPhone. So this email got a reply from a $25 billion company, but not just that. I'm using that as the clickbait, if you will. But lots and lots and lots of other opportunities have come from this. Honestly, I don't think I should mention company names, but publicly traded company names or publicly traded companies. Their CFO, who is like the second to the CEO in most companies in terms of hierarchy, and number one in terms of their finance-related inquiries. If you're a marketing company, you'd be hitting up the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer. Our ICP, Ideal Client Profile, is that CFO. These people get thousands of emails. So if you want to get a reply, you have to be on your game from a company of that size. They are extremely busy. Their time is worth a lot of money. A lot of money. So getting them on a call, it's a whole different ball game. That said, this worked. So go ahead. I will leave a link to this script in the description of the video. You can go edit it to be whatever, related to whatever offer you have. Please don't copy it word for word and try and offer the service that I'm doing, because there's no chance that you watching this video have the same capabilities as my partner companies and I. But anyway, it's a great marketing case study. Yeah, I hope this was valuable. I'm sorry it was so long. But honestly, if you can't sit down for 20 minutes and watch a video like this, there's no chance you're going to succeed anyway. So I'm happy whoever is watching this right now. Good job. You actually made it through the little 20-minute video giving out value. They don't teach you this in university. So, yeah, this works. This is what's working for me now. You might have to make changes, but yeah. Adjust it for your niche. Put your company address. Look like a professional company. That's very important. With the bigger you get, you need to look professional. You need to have a website. If they look you up, they need to see something related to you. That is crucial to this working. And I'm not talking about like some YouTube video of you playing Fortnite. Like, no, it needs to be serious. You need to look like a serious company. So yes, this is the thing. I'll stop rambling now. That's the video. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah. Peace.